Hey guys, Sarah here from Recovering Book Hoarder, and today we're starting a vlog. So one of my goals this year is to vlog at least 2 times a month, and today is going to start that. All right, first, can I just show you guys my mug for today? I bought a gift for my husband that had 2 things. One was for him and one was for me. So this is mine. It's Princess Leia and saying I love you. And then his is the mug that has Han Solo and says I know. So one of my, what I believe is the best quotes in cinema history. So that's the mug that we are using today. So if you've watched a lot of my videos at this point, then you might get the sense, the true sense that I do collect coffee mugs. I'm kind of obsessed with them. And my husband wants me to go through and get rid of some. And I'm not okay with that. I've already gone through and gotten rid of some. The ones I have are the ones that I want and don't want to have go anywhere. So, it's the mug for today. Then my book of the month came in, which is very exciting because it's only January, today's January 2nd. So apparently maybe the Postal Service is getting back to normal speed. So this month I got 3 books. I got one of the actual books of the month that was chosen, and I got 2 add-ons. So the one that I picked for this month is Outlawed by Anna North. And this is supposed to be about a feminine twist on the Old West. The outlaws are women. So I gotta be honest, I wasn't like overly thrilled with this month's options, but this one sounded intriguing. So it says, in the year of our Lord, 1894, I became an outlaw. The day of her wedding, 17-year-old Ada's life looks good. She loves her husband, and she loves working as an apprentice to her mother, a respected midwife. But after a year of marriage and no pregnancy in a town where barren women are routinely hanged as witches, her survival depends on leaving behind everything she knows. She joins up with the notorious Hole-in-the-Wall gang, a band of outlaws led by a preacher turned robber known to all as the Kid. Charismatic, grandiose, and mercurial, the Kid is determined to create a safe haven for outcast women. But to make this dream a reality, the gang hatches a treacherous plan that may get them all killed, and Ada must decide whether she's willing to risk her life for the possibility of a new kind of future for them all. So I thought it sounded interesting, different take. So got that one. Then my add-ons, I got Black Buck, a novel by Matteo Ascaripour, I think is how you pronounce it. And this one I had actually just added to my wish list, and I was super excited to see that it was an option for an add-on. It says, for fans of Sorry to Bother You and The Wolf of Wall Street, a blazing satirical debut novel about a young man given a shot at stardom as the lone black salesman in a mysterious, cult-like, and wildly successful startup where nothing is as it seems. So I thought that sounds fun. And then the last one I got is The Mothers, a novel by Britt Bennett. And I read The Vanishing Half and fell in love with it and decided I need to read everything that Britt Bennett has. So I was super excited to see that The Mothers was an option as an add-on in there. And I don't know what it's about. Doesn't matter because it's Britt Bennett. So I'm sure I'm going to love it. So those were my book of the month. Oh, look how funny. Oh, because Vanishing Half just happened to be the 2020 book of the month, book of the year. Just saw that. All right, book of the month. If you guys could see everything I have going on over here right now. I am surrounded by a lot of stuff. Okay, so then I wanted to talk about the books I started yesterday. So first, let me just acknowledge the fact that I am well aware I have a problem. I find it near impossible to read one book at a time. So I read a lot of books at once, and I make a stack over on my desk of all of the books that are on my TBR for the month. And because I did the TBR like a week before the end of the year, I've been staring at them and wanting to start them so badly. But I made sure that I waited until January 1st to start my TBR for January, with the exception of one book, and that's because it's going to take me longer than a month to read. But because of that, like, I wanted to start them all at once. I didn't, but I did start several, more than one, more than a couple. So let's just talk about what I started reading. Okay. So the one that I had started reading prior to January was A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. This is book 2 in the Song of Fire and Ice series, otherwise known as Game of Thrones. This is the illustrated edition that they were putting out. Love this. Love it. I do have a complaint about this one, though. So in the first version of this, in book 1 of the illustrated, every single chapter opened with an illustration. This one is not that way, and there is like several chapters before there is an illustration. And I'm sorry, but these are expensive books. This is like it's a $40 book, which is significantly more expensive than the regular. And so I feel like there should be illustrations before every chapter, just like there was in the first one. There's not. So it is what it is. That's my complaint. But of course, the book I love. And this is like damaged on the front. And it's probably my own fault. I don't know what happened. So I think my goal is going to be to read a chapter a day of this. And my plan is not to finish it in January. If I don't read a chapter a day, it's not a big deal either. I just love Game of Thrones and am like currently obsessed. So that was the one I started prior to January 1st. All right, I'm just gonna make my pile back here again because this is where all of my books I'm currently reading sit. All right, then I started reading the Encourage Bible. This is the Holman Standard Bible, and it is the edition that Candace Cameron Bure advertises. My mom got this for me for my birthday last year, and there are like devotionals all through here, articles. It's aimed at women, and it's just really beautiful so far. So far I'm liking it. I've read a couple of the articles. There's like different vignettes about women of the Bible, and it's in color in certain places. And yeah, I think I'm going to like it. My only, again, sometimes there's just little complaints. My only complaint is last year I read the HCSB, the Holman Christian Standard Bible. And this is a translation from that translation. And some of the words that they chose are awkward, I think is the best way to say it. And I'm like having to reread the sentences just because I'm like, is that really what they meant to say there? And I'm sure it is, but that would be my only complaint. There's some awkward words used in the translation, but whatever. I like it so far. Okay, then we started the Voices of the Faithful book. This is book 2. I read the first one 2 years ago, and it is just very short, 1 page, not even a full page, stories written by missionaries from around the world, and then also like a request for prayer from them, like a very specific way to pray for them also. And it literally takes like a minute to 2 minutes to read through that each day. So I'll be reading that one each day. And I think each month has a topic too. I'm pretty sure this month's topic is actually prayer. And then I started Life Stories by Mark Hall. And this is the story behind some of the most famous songs that Casting Crowns has, which is a Christian group. They wrote the song If We Are the Body, which is a really catchy song. I would recommend that you check it out. Go ahead and listen to it. And I'm enjoying this one. I like a lot knowing what the stories are behind certain songs. I listen to them differently whenever I know that information. Then This Tender Land by William Kent Krueger. My intent was to read the first chapter. I ended up reading the entire part 1. So I ended up reading 11 chapters. I'm on chapter 12. And this is a very nice surprise. I had never heard of him, never heard of this book, so it was absolutely not on my radar at all. This is the book that was picked for Krista over at Books and Jams for her Patreon book club. And if this is how this guy's writing is, I think he's going to be on my list of authors I want to read more from. So, for example, let me just read this first paragraph. This first paragraph is only 2 sentences, but it is quite possibly one of the most beautiful first paragraphs I've ever read in a book. In the beginning, after he labored over the heavens and the earth, and the light and the dark, the land and the sea, and all living things that dwell therein, after he created man and woman, and before he rested, I believe God gave us one final gift. Lest we forget the divine source of all that beauty, he gave us stories. Oh, I just highlighted. See? Highlighted. It is just absolutely beautiful. And so in part 1, you're like waiting. Bad things happen in part 1. But you're like waiting for something even worse to happen throughout. But you just want to keep reading. It is so beautifully written. Beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to reading some more of this book. Alright, so that one. First 11 chapters. Then I started The Secret of the Clock, which is book 1 from Nancy Drew. And this is kind of interesting because I'm reading it and I'm like, it's a little bit corny. You know what I mean? Like, just a little bit. Like, for example, we're going to go from like one of the best first lines to one of the worst. Nancy, an attractive girl of 18, was driving home along a country road in her new dark blue convertible. I'm like, do we need to just throw out there that she's an attractive girl of 18? So anyway, I'm reading it, and there's some other, like, weird kind of stuff that you would not necessarily see in middle grade kind of books now, or young adult, or I wouldn't say this is probably middle grade, even though the main character is 18. So I, for some reason, thought that these had been written in, like, sometime between the 60s and the 80s. I was wrong. This book was actually written in 1930. Can you believe that? Nancy Drew was written in 1930. So I'm giving it some room. I'm not going to judge it as harshly as I would a more current read, because I need to keep in mind that it was in 1930. And to be perfectly honest, in 1930, she was written as a pretty forward-thinking female, and her family is pretty forward-thinking too, given the time period it was written in. I don't anticipate that I'm going to see any black characters in here, or any kind of characters of any color at all. It's probably going to be pretty pasty, but it was written in the 1930s by a white author, and unfortunately that's how it goes. So my opinion is, especially because, so let's just say I found out that Carolyn Keene, the author, was not one person. It was a pseudonym shared by lots of different authors. So I think that some author or a set of authors need to take it upon them to kind of like redo the stories, to maybe keep the main premise, but add in some more colorful characters, and to elevate the writing somewhat. So I think that would be a good challenge for some authors now. I don't know who, but I think that would be good, because I think that Nancy Drew herself, who, to be honest, I would love to see as a black main character, does a lot for women, and could continue to do so even now. Just my opinion. All right, then started How to Train Your Dragon, book 1 by Cressida Cowell, and I don't love Cressida Cowell based on her Wizards of Wands series, but I really love this movie. So I'm giving this a shot. If I don't like this, then I'm probably not going to read anything else by hers. I read the first 2 chapters. You know, there's a lot of artwork in here. It's not my favorite. The illustrations are not my favorite. So, we'll see. Right now, I'm kind of ambivalent about it. But I'm going to keep going. And then the last book I started yesterday and have already started reading again today, and really, really am liking, is The Wife by Alafair Burke. And this is a mystery told from, at this point, at least 2 different perspectives. The perspective of the wife and the perspective of an investigator. I don't want to give too much away in here, but okay. So her husband, her husband is a very famous author who's also a tenured professor, owns a very successful business. He's very good looking, and he is accused of being sexually inappropriate with an intern, and then gets accused of some other stuff as well. The wife has a history. She was abducted whenever she was a teenager and was gone for 3 years before she was discovered. So she ended up, the wife, she got pregnant by her abductor, had a baby while she was abducted. But once she was discovered and returned home, it was kept very on the down low. Like, even the people locally didn't know what had actually happened. They assumed she had just run away and came home pregnant, and just caused her parents a bunch of problems. So she's really kept her story secret. And so now she has a lot of decisions she has to make. You don't know, there's reasons in here as to why. Maybe the husband's not actually guilty, but we'll see. So I'm pretty well into this one. I'm on page 212, chapter 38. And it's not super long, but I'm liking it a lot. So I am going to read a little bit more. I'm going to be going over to my mom's to dye her hair because, COVID. This will be the first time I'm attempting to dye her hair. And then gonna work out over there. That's another one of my goals, is to work out at least once a week. And my brother built a gym in a house-sized shed in the backyard. So I'm gonna go use that for the first time. And my daughter's gonna work out with me. And then when I come home, I'll read some more. But yeah, okay. So that's how reading's going so far in 2021. I'm not mad.
What do you
So this is the gym at my parents' house that my brother put in the house-sized shed in their backyard. So I'm gonna use this bad boy over here.
That's the elliptical piece.
Yeah, the elliptical. I'm gonna use the elliptical. And probably this ab thing over here.
Hi, peeps.
And Cassie's doing the row machine right now.
Hi.
Might do that, we'll see, because my hands. Anyway, all right. Time to work out.
Time to work out.
All right, just finished working out. Just want to show you guys what this shed looks like. This is a shed.
Yes, it's a shed.
The size of a house.
Yes, the whole bottom of the shed is the workout room.
the top of the shed, the level 2, is not done yet.
All right, so it is Sunday, January 3rd, and this is my last day off before having to go back to work tomorrow. I've been off for almost a full 2 weeks. I had to work last Monday just so I could do payroll, but other than that, it's been close to a full 2 weeks. So, I mean, listen, I like my job, but I wish I could just stay home. But doesn't everybody? So I just wanted to come on and do an update. So this morning I got to work on making my husband an Afghan, crocheting an Afghan for him. So this is it right here. Worked on this morning and watched church this morning and did some journaling and really just lazed around. And then my daughter's friend came over for a little bit and I spent the rest of the day, the rest of the afternoon reading. So first I did finish The Wife yesterday. Later last night I finished it and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I did figure out a few of the twists in there before the end, but not all of them. So that's saying something because I hate it when I figure everything out by the middle. So I did really like this one a lot, and I want to read more from Alafair Burke, and she has several others out, so I'm definitely going to look into getting those at some point. All right, so I finished that, and then today I read part 2 of This Tender Land, and this is really good. Really, really good. The only reason I stopped after I finished part 2 is because I'm trying to limit myself to 1 part a day so I can read some other things as well. I don't do well reading just 1 book at a time. I have like book ADHD. I love to read, I get hyper-focused, but I need to change things often. So, part 2, our main characters are on an adventure, and they got kind of held up a little bit. But, yeah, I don't want to say more. This is going to be hard. I really don't want to spoil any of this. This is just such a beautiful, beautiful book. I can't think of anything that I would compare it to. But over on the Discord server, Chris's Discord server for the book club for this, people keep comparing it to I think it's the Crawdads Sing. Is that what it's called? I haven't read it, which I know everybody's read it and it's like a huge hit, but I have not. I think that's what it's called, the Crawdads Sing, and then like a Huck Finn kind of thing. So we'll go with that, because I haven't read actually either of those to know for sure if that's true. And I just can't think of anything else to compare it to that I have read in the past. So, then I also started today, The Empire Strikes Back from a Certain Point of View. And this is a book that has all of these scenes that we know and love from the Star Wars movies, told from a different character's point of view and not a common character. So, for example, I just read 4 different stories on Hoth, which is the ice planet that the rebellion was on. The first one was told from a point of view of the Empire with somebody that was working on the drone that's sent there to spy and that actually spots that the rebellion's hiding there. Then the next point of view was told from the ice monster. I don't know what they're called. They look like an abominable snowman also, but it's told from his point of view. And then from the point of view of a somebody that's working at the control systems whenever the Empire attacks the rebellion Hoth. And then I just read one that was from the point of view of one of the cooks that's a chef on Hoth. And it's all about the day that the Empire attacks the rebellion on Hoth. So my plan for tonight is hopefully to finish 6 more of the stories. These are all real short stories. I had read the first one of this from A New Hope. They did this one last year, and they seem to be doing it on the anniversary of each of the movies. So hopefully Return of the Jedi one is released next year for that one's 40th anniversary. So that's where I'm at right now. It is, well, I'm taping on my clock, so I think it's about 6 o'clock, and I'm gonna finish up the night, hopefully reading these last 6 chapters, 6 stories, and then maybe doing a little bit of journaling, because I got my pictures of the week back today, so I need to get those in. And then I'll head to bed so that I can hopefully be up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, so that I have ample time to do everything I want to do before I have to leave for work. So yeah, all right, that's it. That's all for January 3rd. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, so today is January 4th, Monday, and I had to go back to work today. It was fine. Yeah, it was fine. One of my favorite employees put in their notice today. That's how my day ended. And so sad about that. But, you know, people move on. People have to move on and do what's best for them. I accept that. So, got home around 5:15-ish, and my wonderful husband made a delicious dinner. He made cast iron filet mignon, like done up in butter and garlic, and it was absolutely delicious. And then some this like Tuscan broccoli that my daughter really likes, and sweet potatoes. It was really so good. And it was literally like I walked in and within 10 minutes we were eating. So it's always nice to have somebody make dinner for you. Once dinner was done, my daughter's in cyber school. So the beauty of cyber school is that we can do it whenever we need to and whenever it works for us. So my husband does math with her. So they did that today because Mondays are his day off. And then I do ELA, science, and social studies. So we just finished that up. It's like 20 after 7 right now. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do for the rest of the night in just a second. I just have to show you guys. So I got a new book yesterday. I am like really trying to avoid going anywhere other than work and to my parents' house. So my husband does all of the shopping, all the grocery shopping, all that stuff. And when he went to Sam's Club yesterday, I asked him to take me on a tour of the book section via FaceTime. He hates when I ask him to do this, but he does it for me. So he did do that for me, and they did have a book that was on my wish list there. That's a new release, and that is The Mystery of Miss Christie by Marie Benedict. And this is an April Made Me Do It book. She had talked about this one coming out, and thinking back to how she described this, apparently Agatha Christie went missing at one point, and she was gone and then just turned up again. And this is supposed to be about the time that she was missing. So he was kind enough to get me that book. There was one there too that I was like kind of wanted, which was the Dolly Parton lyric book, but it was $30, and I just didn't think I wanted it $30 badly, so I passed on that for now. Okay, so the rest of the evening, I only have about a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes before I get ready for bed, because I like to be in bed between like 8:15 and 8:30 so that I can wake up at 5. So I'm going to eat my Hungry Buddha bar. I discovered Hungry Buddha in my keto crate, which is just the greatest thing I've ever found. As a diabetic and somebody that has to really watch their carb intake, the keto crate is fabulous. And they've made me find ways to still have some snacks and some things that are sweet and things like that. So I had discovered the Buddha bars. They had a chocolate chip one in the box that I received. Went on to see if I could get some through Amazon, and they did. They had a variety pack, and so there was the chocolate chip, this one I'm going to eat tonight, which is the espresso brownie, and then there's this like coconut one in there also. So I'm going to have this for my dessert, and I think what I'm going to do tonight is read, I think I'll read one more story from a certain point of view, and then maybe I'll read a chapter from Clash of Kings, which is game two, which is a book 2 from the Song of Fire and Ice, otherwise known as Game of Thrones series. So that's what I'm going to do for the rest of tonight before I hit bed, like I said, around 8:15, 8:30. So just a little bit of time to read tonight because school took a while, but that's okay. All right, so I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, today is, what is today? Today's Tuesday, January 5th, and coming on to check in. It's about 6:30 in the evening right now. It's been quite a productive day. So first, I just have to say, yesterday was my niece's first birthday, my niece Olivia, and I forgot to brag on her. So just want to say happy belated birthday to Libby. We got to go on and sing happy birthday to her over FaceTime and watch her do her little smash cake cupcake. So insert picture of cute baby right here. So yeah, I just had to say that because I forgot to say it yesterday. So just gonna catch up on my day and see what we did. First of all, I know it's 6:30, but it's never too late for coffee in my world. Caffeine doesn't really keep me awake, so I drink it all day, all evening. This is only my 3rd cup today. That's not bad. So I just wanted to share my mug for today. This was an Owl Crate exclusive. This was from their Harry Potter exclusive mug, and I love this mug so much. Look at how pretty it is. Yeah, gorge. And so this is the perfect style of mug. Yeah, so just wanted to share this pretty mug with you guys. Okay, so what did I do today? Tuesdays are my work from home days because of how my daughter's cyber schedule is. So I answered a bunch of emails, texting, things like that with some of the people I supervise, and then I caught up on some trainings that I need to have completed by, I think it's January 20th. One of them was like, okay, and one of them was really good, and that was on professional ethics and boundaries, which sounds like it would not be good at all and it would be really boring. But this presentation was actually really, really good. I enjoyed it. So did that. Dyed my hair. I didn't dye my hair. This is my natural turning gray hair. Dyed my daughter's hair purple because she got purple hair dye for Christmas. We used Unicorn brand that we got at Alta. Yeah, Alta. She got that in her stocking. So insert picture of my daughter's beautiful hair. Turned out great. We're both really happy with it. So I did that, made some delicious beef, vegetable, bean soup kind of thing. Put a picture of that here also. And had that for dinner. Did my daughter's classes with her. Also read, finished The Secret of the Old Clock by Nancy Drew. No. It's a Nancy Drew series by Carolyn Keene. This was one of my 21 and 2021. I had never read any Nancy Drew. I got this thinking that my daughter might want to read it. No. And after reading it, no. This was a 1-star read. Maybe if I don't know. Maybe if I had read it when I was younger, it would have been higher. But I'm sorry. With how middle grade and young adult are now, where they just transcend ages, I don't think that just because something was written for middle grade, that means it should be dumbed down at all. This was just the most... I have never seen a book where so many convenient things happen, ever. It was just drivel. I'm sorry. If you like Nancy Drew, I'm sorry. I don't know if you've read her lately. Maybe you should read her and see if you still like her. So this was my first Nancy Drew. It is my last Nancy Drew. I will not be reading anymore, and this is not going to stay in my house. I'm going to be unhauling that. So I did finish that today. Last night I had said I wanted to read another story from A Certain Point of View and a chapter from Clash of Kings. And I did do that. And I also started From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is one of my 5-star predictions for the year. And I read the first chapter, and I really liked the first chapter. So I wanted to read more, but it was definitely time for bed. So I was happy about that. And so tonight, I think I'm going to finish up my coffee. And while I'm drinking my coffee, I'm going to read some more of This Tender Land by William Kent Krueger. Hopefully we'll get through part 3. And then if I have time left after that, I'm going to read some more of From Blood and Ash, because I really liked it and am intrigued. I have 2 more bottles of water to finish for today, because my goal is always to drink 8 bottles of water. And then my diabetic friendly snack for tonight is going to be strawberries and cream protein puffs. And I really like these a lot as well. Just like a hint of sweet. If you don't like artificial strawberry, you're not going to like these. But I like these a lot. My daughter doesn't care for them. And these are also gluten-free. They're by a company called Shrewd Food. And they also have, well, they have like several different kinds of these, but I got this, and I also got a cookies and cream one, which is fine. That's one my daughter prefers, but I like these ones better. So this is going to be my dessert for tonight. And yeah, that's my update. So productive day. Hopefully get some more reading done between now and about 8:30. Say between 8:30 and 9, I'll head to bed, because I need to be up at 5 tomorrow so I can go back to work. In the office work. So, alright. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys. Today is January 6th, Wednesday. And I would like to start today by addressing the absolute insanity that is occurring in our nation's capital right now. I'm 39 years old. I have never been more embarrassed to be an American than I am today. I have never seen a group of people act like such children. Like, they don't even know how to rationalize things in their head. I've never seen a group that is less for democracy than I have today. And I am sickened. Literally sickened. And I'm sad that this is what is happening in our country, because apparently people just don't know how to accept defeat. Like, did your parents not teach you how to accept losing? Did your parents not teach you that you're not going to get your way all the time? You know, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted and I'm sad. So I needed to say that because that's happening right now. Okay. Thank God for books. That's what I have to say. Because in this crazy world, I'm always able to lose myself in a good book. And that's going to be the case tonight. So anyway, I worked today, had like back-to-back meetings all day long. Didn't get done nearly as much as I had hoped to, but it is what it is. Normally I would come home and we'd get started with school for my daughter, but she wants to do math tonight first with my husband, which means I will do my reading and stuff while they're doing that, and I'll end my night with school instead of ending my night with books. So, last night I did read part 3 of This Tender Land by William Kent Krueger, and this is just such a good book to get lost in. It really, really is. Read another just beautiful, beautiful paragraph last night I wanted to share with you guys. There's actually 2 that I highlighted. So the first: what I saw then was a thing of such beauty that I have never, across the 8 decades of my life, forgotten it. The meadow that rolled away from the hill was alive with fireflies. For as far as I could see, the land was lit by millions of tiny, luminescing lanterns. They winked on and off and drifted in random currents, a sea of stars, an earth-bound Milky Way. I have been to the top of the Eiffel Tower at night and gazed across the city of light, but all the man-made brilliance didn't hold a candle to the miracle I witnessed on a June night along the bank of the Gilead River when I was a boy. So I was on page 176. And the other passage that I just really spoke to me: brothers and sisters, God so loved the world that he gave his precious only Son to save us. This is not a God who would ever turn his back on you. In your darkest hour, even when Satan is knocking at your door, God is beside you. Even when you believe you are steeped so deeply in sin that you must be lost to him, God is with you, and he forgives your sins. He asks only that you believe in him with all your heart and all your mind and all your soul. That was on page 181. Yeah, I needed to read that. Okay, so read part 3 of that, and then I also read chapter 2 from Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It was a pretty short chapter compared to the first chapter, and still has my attention. So here's hoping. All right, so my reading plans for tonight. First, let me share with you my mug. So this was another gift for my sister-in-law for Christmas. Hawkins High School, 1983. On the back is, I don't know if you can see that or not, the mascot. Yeah, pretty. So, for those of you who may not be aware, this is a Stranger Things travel mug. And I love it. This is actually my first time using it. And also got my Keto Crate snacks in the mail today that I had ordered. So tonight's diabetic friendly snack is going to be Ross chocolates, right? Yeah, Ross chocolates. These are called minis, milk chocolate flavored thins, and they are a nice little size, square, and the serving size is 5 pieces, and they are delicious. Delicious. I love them so much. It's just like the perfect amount, the perfect treat, and this is going to be my dessert tonight. So really excited. I swear, sometimes I get these packages from Keto Crate like super fast. This one felt like it just took forever. I've been waiting impatiently. So finally here. So I'm going to be eating that. Tonight I'm going to continue with this Tenderland. I doubt that I will get all the way through part 4. It's a little bit more than 70 pages. I don't think I'll be able to finish it all, but we'll see. I'm going to make a dent. This is probably going to be all I read tonight. I really am like hankering for some Game of Thrones. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get to read a chapter from there too, but for sure reading from this Tenderland. So that's today. The day that the United States, I don't even know, crumbled in on itself. I feel like you almost need to remove the word united from in front of our country's name at this point. Because we're not united. Anyway. Alright guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, so it is Thursday, January 7th. Thank God it's Thursday. Ready for the week to be over. Work was fine today, but I got out of there like an hour and a half later than I was supposed to. So, excuse my daughter if you can hear crazy yelling. It's her friend's birthday, and they're doing some kind of like Zoom party. So, you'll be able to hear her probably. Anyway, so it is now like 7:15, just finished dinner, did some dishes, and I'm ready to sit down and read a little bit. So I did finish part 4 of this Tenderland last night. Still loving it. Just so good. So tonight I'm hoping to finish part 5. And then last night I also read 2 more chapters from Clash of Kings. So, you know, it's like close to bedtime. The last 2 parts of this Tenderland are the shortest parts in the book. So, here's hoping I can finish that up. And that's it. I'm really boring today. Alright. I'll see you guys tomorrow to wrap up this reading vlog from this week. Alright. Bye. It's Friday. It's finally Friday. I'm so happy it's Friday. Oh, so, productive day at work today. I have a bunch of trainings I need to put together where I do PowerPoint slides and then voice record over top, and then have to change them into MPEGs and then upload them to the work YouTube training channel and all that stuff. And I'm really on a deadline right now with having to get a bunch of trainings done within the next week. So I did get one done, figured out Google Doc Drive, because I needed a central location for people to be able to access documentation that they need to do and things like that. So I'm happy I got one done. So it's the weekend. I'm so happy it's the weekend. Right, so I did finish this Tenderland yesterday, and it was so good. It was so good. I loved it so much. I like it when stories end and they look into the future and give you what the future looks like for the characters in the book. And this book did that. So everything's just wrapped up so nicely. I like when books are wrapped up nicely. Unless it's an ongoing series, obviously. So I did finish that. So that was my big book. So I've so far this year I've read 3 books. I've read 3 books this week. So for the weekend, my thoughts are, I am going to, and this is, well, I should first say this is going to be my last day vlogging for this week. So looking forward to the weekend. My plan is to continue reading From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. I want to get Greenlight started by Matthew McConaughey. I've been waiting for this for so long. I'm really, really excited to get into it. I've already looked at just a few of the pictures in here and perfection. Perfection. Matthew McConaughey is pretty much perfection. And then I would like to do maybe some coloring or crocheting this weekend. So I am in the middle of listening to Spoiler Alert by, I'll just put it up here because I can't think of who the author is off the top of my head. Not an author I'd read before. And I also I had an Audible credit, so I decided to download From a Certain Point of View on audio as well and just kind of go back and forth with it. That way I can listen to it while I'm doing some other stuff I would like to do. So that's for sure what my plans are. Might read a little bit more of How to Train Your Dragon and maybe get started the Pale Horse. Anyway, lots of options, lots of things that need to be read, but for sure going to do From Blood and Ash, Greenlight, Spoiler Alert, and The Empire Strikes Back. So that's it. I still have to do school with my daughter today as well. Right now she's working on math with her dad. So we'll do our stuff after that. And I'm tired, but I'm going to stay up so I can read. But we'll see. Alright, that's all. Those are my plans. It's the wrap up for the week. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Alright. Bye.